Hi, I'm Will Hesketh and this is Functional Yoga. So as always, just make some space to practice, make time to be present, which means removing distractions, and see if you can remain as playful as possible with yourself, as grateful as possible to yourself, for yourself, and as compassionate as possible towards yourself. Just keep it in mind. You are an amazing human being. You're alive, you're breathing. That is an amazing feat in itself. So we're going to crack on. This week's focus is balance. So bring yourself into a standing position and we'll get going. So we're going to start with Tadasana, which means feet are hip width apart, in the way that I teach it at least, lifting the toes off the floor, finding your heels on the floor, finding your big toe ball of the foot on the floor, finding your little toe ball of the foot on the floor. So this is where we come to making time to be present. It can be a bit boring, it can feel a bit boring. Try and be with it, try and experience it, notice your breath, notice the sensations in the body. It's really, really helpful and it helps you get deeper practice. So shifting your weight forwards and back in the feet, just see if you could get about 50% of your weight in your heels, about 30% in the big toe ball of the foot, and about 20% in the little toe ball of the foot. It's not precise, just see how it feels. Relax the toes down and see if you could spread them as wide as possible. See if you could just lift your big toes off the floor and relax them down. See if you could just lift your little toes off the floor and just relax them down. Get that little bit of activity in the feet, moving from one to the other, or just wiggling your toes if you don't feel like you can distinctively move from big toes to little toes. And bend the knees a tiny little bit, so they're just off lock. We're going to set the pelvis position. From here, just gently inhale, arch your lower back, and gently exhale, tuck to flatten that lower back off. So as you inhale, gently arch that lower back, and as you exhale, gently tuck to flatten that lower back off. Inhale, arch, feel that lower back arch, feel that pelvis tilt forwards, exhale, tuck, one more. Really nice, and just relax. Find the point where you feel in between those two. So it's not a deep arch and it's not a big flatten, it's just a very subtle arch of the lower back. From there, moving up, engaging the abdominal muscles slightly, so tucking in side to side, pulling that core in a little, expanding across the rib cage, getting some space under your armpits. Try spreading your fingers nice and wide, shrug your shoulders up, and then just relax them down until they feel like they're at a really comfortable position, wide across the front and back of the shoulder, so across the chest and across the shoulder blades, broad. Long in the neck, not leaning the head back, not tucking the chin in excessively, just a comfortable neck. Imagine your head to be light. Close the eyes if you want to, if you've not done already. Notice the face, around the jaw, around the forehead, around the cheeks. And just find your balance in a standing position in Tadasana. Feeling your way through the body constantly. Checking in with the feet, checking in with the knees, the hips, the pelvis, the spine, the chest, the shoulders, the neck, the face, and finally the mind. What's happening in the mind? Try not to judge it, try not to be harsh to yourself, and try not to run away with it. If possible, just bring yourself back each breath. Just noticing how your body moves as you breathe, noticing how your body moves, just keeping your balance, especially if you've got the eyes closed. Okay, so slowing things down and acknowledging that we're coming towards a slow and calm practice, especially to start with. It might start to get a bit more intense in a bit, but I'll save that for later, the excitement. Okay, we're going to do the arch and tuck again, but this time we're going to start to add internal and external rotation at the arm. So as you inhale, gently allow the lower back to arch and the belly to come forwards, and externally rotate at the shoulder. So that means palms turn up with a little bit of a bend in the elbow. Exhale, tuck from the pelvis and internally rotate the arms. So palms turn up again, but they go around the weird way. Inhale, arch, lower back, start from the pelvis. Exhale, tuck, start from the pelvis, bring it to the arms. So from the side, it's like this. Inhale, arch, exhale, tuck. Just try and feel your way through the spine, feel your way around the shoulders, the neck, the face, the legs, the feet, all that stuff we were doing in that static position, but now just through some gentle fluid movement. If you want to, you could bring the arms a bit higher and you could do it more like a sort of flapping of some imaginary wings, or however you want to perceive it, but just make sure it feels really nice and comfortable, no forcing. You could just have the arms by the side, you could have them a little bit up, or you could have them all the way up. Whatever feels nicest on the shoulder, on the lower back, getting things moving. As you inhale, you arch, and as you exhale, tuck. Just feel your way through a couple more. And gradually bring the arms back down, have a little shake out, give the legs a little shake out, get a little bit playful, do whatever feels nice. Now we're going to touch on some actual balancing, some physical balancing now. So we're going to try and keep the hips level. We're going to push into the right foot, a little bit of a bend of the knee, give the toes a wiggle, get active into that foot, and see if you can get minimum movement through the body as you peel the left heel off the floor. You might take the toes off the floor if that feels okay, but try not to lean over as you do. Try and stay as central as you can as you lift that knee. From there, we're going to add a little bit of rotation so your hands can come onto the ribs if you want to, and we're just going to look to exhale and rotate the ribs towards that leg that's lifted, so towards the left. Hips stay still. Notice how the knees and the hips don't move here for me. Ooh, apart from when I nearly lose my balance. Feel your way through. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, bring it back. If you're thinking, oh, this is a bit easy, close your eyes. See how that feels. Take it steady. Really feel your way through. Try and stay tall through the spine. Try and stay wide across the shoulder girdle. Let's go for 2 more. So we're starting to warm up those balancing muscles. Try and keep those hips central, remember. It's very easy to get tempted and just lean to the side. So step it out for a moment. Same thing on the side. So this is the difference between balance and just leaning onto one leg. So this is leaning onto one leg. Just leaning over to the side, making it nice and easy. Everything feels sort of a bit rigid and compressed into the joint. What I want to do is bring myself central with the hips, bring my body as central as possible until I have to put the foot down and find a point where I can just about keep the heel lifted or take the toes off the floor, whichever you want to do. And just breathe. Notice the muscles now. So hopefully you're feeling your foot starting to work around the outside of your hip, your abdominal muscles, all of it working to hold that balance. Broad across the shoulders, long in the spine, hands onto the rib cage, and exhale towards that front leg, so towards the right now. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, bring it back. Just gliding your way through, feeling your way into it. Closing the eyes. If you're starting to feel balance, then you want to challenge it a bit further. Really nice. And whenever you're ready, step that leg down, step it out for a few wee moments. We're going to bring it onto a chair squat, so that means the feet are hip width apart still. It means we're still bringing our attention to the feet and giving the toes a wiggle regularly, getting as active as we can through the feet. It means we sit the bum down and back and the knees stay above the ankles. So it's not this, it's down and back. From there we reach the arms up and forwards if you want to, or you bring them onto the legs if you feel like you need a bit of support. Inhale, gently arch the lower back. Exhale, gently tuck. Feel your way through. Inhale, gently arch. Exhale, gently tuck. Inhale, gently arch, just rolling your way through. If you want to, arms can be up, and you could be doing a little bit of what we were doing before with that external and internal rotation, just in a lean forward position. Really nice, leading from the pelvis and bringing your way back up. When you're ready, step it out. Now, let's see if we can get down to down dog. You can do it by just bringing yourself down however feels comfortable for you, starting in all fours. Or if you're feeling a bit adventurous, you can bend your knees right down and see if you could track them right over the feet. So now the knees do come forwards, and that's fine. Let the heels lift off the floor a little, balance there in that little bit of squat position. Walk the hands slowly forwards and gradually bring your way to down dog, lifting the hips up and back, gently pedaling through the legs, just gliding your way through, feeling your way into the backs of your legs. Bend one leg, bend the other leg. Try bending both legs together. Wiggle the toes. Spread the fingers, grip the floor with the fingers. Nice and steady, feeling your way through. In your own time, we're going to take the right leg, we're going to step it forwards. We're going to see if we could keep that knee, ankle, hip alignment. So in this instance, just walk the hands back, keep the knee down, and then stay central as you push your way up. So make it tricky for yourself. Stay as central as you can. Try not to let the hips push out to the side. Try not to let the knee come in, and really work on finding that alignment on the way up. It makes it much more tricky. If you're finding it easy to stand up in that position, try it again with more alignment. Bring your way through a couple, so bringing it down as deep as feels comfortable, bringing your way back up. If you want to, as you come down, reach the arms up, bringing your way back up. If you want to, step it a little deeper. Remember your tuck of the pelvis, keep it. So now we lengthen into the front of this back leg. So exhale, bringing it down, inhale, bringing it up. Bottom of the ribs are tucking down, abdominal muscles are engaged, top of the pelvis is tucking up. So you're lengthening into the front of the back quad. As you reach the arms up, you're also lengthening into the chest without flaring the ribs because you're tucking them down into the abdominal muscles. Whenever you're ready, hands come down, step the leg back, push back to down dog. If at any point you want to break, you can always lower the knees and just have a rest. If you're feeling raring to go, we're going to come onto the other leg, left leg comes forward. Walk the hands back, start with the knee down so you can really check that alignment. Check your alignment, tuck your pelvis, and push your way back up. Exhale as you come down. Inhale as you come back up. Try and keep that tuck, step a little deeper if it feels safe to do so. Don't go so deep that you start to arch the lower back though. So if we're here, pelvis has come out of a line and we're arching the back and getting all theatrical with the movement, not so helpful in this instance. So really try and keep that alignment, keep that tuck. What we want to be doing is lengthening into this rec fem down here, this long muscle that comes from the hip right the way down past the knee. So as you're coming down, maintaining the tuck. So we're lengthening and strengthening and working that rec fem and the quad and the glute on the front leg and various other muscles. I'm not going to list them all, but the key is in lengthening this one because we're going to be doing something challenging with this later. Okay, whenever you're ready, bringing it down to your down dog position, step the leg back, push back and pedal through. In your own time, the right leg is going to come forwards. Knee, ankle, hip alignment. If you feel you can keep the knee lifted as you walk back, then do that. But really remember, this hip wants to push out. Keep it central. Keep that knee aligned. Push your way back up. From here, we're going to come down and rotate like that standing movement we were doing. Hips stay still. So yeah, exhale, bring it down, and rotate towards that front leg. So remember, keep that tuck of the pelvis. So I'll go this way so you can see. Keep the tuck of the pelvis, keep the hips nice and level, and as you come down, rotate towards that front leg. You don't need to go this deep, you could just be here. So hips stay facing forwards. Should feel the abs working and stretching at the same time. Should feel length into the front of this back leg hip. Really nice. Let's go for 2 more. And 1 more. Now bring the hands down, step the leg back, push back to down dog, pedal through. In your own time, left leg's going to come forwards. And we're going to work our way back up to standing. Remember, try and keep that alignment. I'll switch sides so we can see. So hips stay level, pelvis stays tucked. Exhale as you come down. Rotate towards the front leg. Inhale, bring it up. Think about pulling your back leg forwards and your front leg backwards, working against each other to get that support. Really nice. Let's go for 4 more. You don't have to go as low as I'm going. You could just come to here, or even less to here. You might not step as deep, that's fine. Just feel your way through. Keep that tuck of the pelvis, keep the bottom of the ribs tucked down a little bit. And step the hands down, or place the hands down, I should say. Step the leg back, pedal through. Lower the knees down whenever you're ready. Take a moment in child's pose. So from child's pose, you could either walk the arms to one side and get your side bends in that way, so you're just gently curving the spine, or if you're feeling lively, bring yourself up to that lunge again, bring yourself down into that lunge position and reach the arm up and over towards the front leg, not towards it, towards the side of the front leg. So if your right leg's forward, you're reaching your left arm over towards the right hand side, you're keeping that tuck, keeping the abs working. If you're on the floor, just resting and breathing, feeling your way through. Child's pose with a curved spine to the right or the left, it doesn't matter. Change when we change. Okay, I say we when I change. Okay, same thing other side. Hands come down, step the leg back, push back to down dog. If you're doing child's pose, bring yourself down, walk yourself over to the other side. If you're doing the more intense one, step the leg forwards, bring your way back up to your lunge. Keep your tuck, bringing your way down. Now right arm comes over to the left. Keep that tuck, keep those hips as level as you can. Curve through the spine. Gently. Make sure there's no lower back pain. Keep that strong tuck. Let's go for 2 more. And 1 more. And back up to the center. Step the foot back. Push back to down dog. Pedal through. If you want to come to child's pose, lower the knees to child's pose. If you prefer to stay in down dog, stay in down dog. Bending one leg, bending both legs. Whatever feels good. Just feeling your way through. Wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. Noticing the breath. From down dog, we're going to start to bring our way back up to standing. It's up to you how you get there. If you're feeling athletic, you could jump silently to the hands, or you could just bring your way back up in a more comfortable way for you. Bring yourself to standing. Weight comes onto your right foot. Hips stay level. Remember all this, we've already done it. Lift the foot. Try not to lean over. Place the foot either on the floor, the ankle, or the calf. Exhale, knee comes out to the side. Inhale, knee comes back to the center. Exhale, knee comes out to the side. Inhale, back to the center. Notice how the hips stay still. The abdominal muscles are working. This inside of the thigh, this adductor, is getting lengthened as you're externally rotating the hip. Really nice. Same thing on the side. Place the foot, keep your balance, try not to do this. Stay as central as you can and lift the foot. Toes can stay down if you want to, onto the ankle or onto the calf. Try not to rest on with it. Remember, really light touch. Exhale whenever you're ready. Knee comes out. Inhale, bring it back. Constantly shifting towards the side of the lifted leg to make it more tricky. More balance required. It's good to put the foot down, and I say that not just because I do it. Challenging the balance. If you're having to put the foot down, you know that you're starting to work the muscles you need to balance because you're losing your balance. Okay, 2 more. Really nice. Step it out. From here, we're going to do same action, but from a lunge, so from warrior 1 position. So right leg forward, left leg back, deep as feels comfortable for you. Keep it nice and mellow, don't go too deep just yet. Pulling the front leg backwards, pulling the back leg forwards, bringing yourself down into a bit of a lunge. Right knee stays exactly where it is. This is crucial, and this is the thing that tends to go wrong. Make sure this right knee stays where it is as you turn the left hip out and bring yourself into a warrior 2 leg position. Prevent that knee from knocking in. So keep it where it is. Give the toes a wiggle on that front foot, and then push into that front foot. Bring yourself back round to your lunge. Bring yourself back out, warrior 2. Bring yourself back round, warrior 1, just in the legs. If you want to bring the arms into it, you can do, but just make sure it feels natural. So for me, it feels more natural to come around a bit more like this, Although I would teach warrior one up here normally and not really length forwards, but there's different reasons for teaching different things in different ways. All we're doing at the moment is really warming the legs up and working on that external rotation from that front leg. We're going to change legs. It's up to you how you get there. If you want to change legs through down dog, you could do that. If you want to just rotate with the feet and bring yourself around to the other side, you could do that. Bringing your way back up. Now, left knee stays exactly where it is. Right hip moves away as you come round. I'll show you a couple here and then I'll turn around. So remember, this front knee, I'll show you this way as well. This front knee stays where it is. It's not doing this. Okay? Front knee stays exactly where it is. And we turn out. Bring it back round to the lunge. And we turn out. Bring it back round to the lunge. We turn out. Let's go for 2 more. Exhale as you go. And bring it back. Exhale as you go. Really nice. And bring it back round. Again, if you want to do down dog, bring your down dog in, step the leg back, pedal through. Okay, now we get a little bit more tricky with the balance. The weight comes onto the right foot, the hips stay level. Give the toes a wiggle, bend the front knee a little bit, shift your weight onto that front foot. Keep those hips nice and level, step that left foot back a little, step it back a little further. Starting to come towards warrior 3. Keep the spine nice and tall and long and the shoulders nice and broad, so we're not just rounding forwards, we're hinging from the pelvis. This hip should be feeling the work around the outside on that glute muscle, keeping those hips level. If it feels safe to do so, you could take those back toes off the floor, you could go a little bit further, you could reach those arms up and forwards, you could have something to grab onto to support yourself if you want to. So you could have something in front of you, you could have something behind you. Rest your leg on something, but just constantly trying to shift until you're in aligned position. So hips, knees, ankles, toes aligned on both legs. If you want to add the arms, reach the arms forwards, broad across the shoulders, long in the spine, feeling your way into that position, hold in there. Big breaths. If you want to, you could allow your hands to come down to the floor and try the same position, but stay as central as you can, reaching that leg up and back. So then it becomes a little bit more stretchy and a little bit less balancy, but you've still got the balance required to be here. You've only got 3 points of contact and you can go light on the hands if you want to. And if you prefer, you could be holding that full warrior 3 position, hips as level as you can. The temptation is for the left hip to lift towards the ceiling, so think about moving it down. Moving the left hip down towards the floor, feeling that glute really work, and then slowly bring your way back up and step it out. Don't know about you, but I'm feeling the burn around the outside of the glute there. Same thing other side, weight comes onto the left foot, pushing onto that left foot, hips stay level, creep that foot backwards on the right leg. Keep those hips as level as possible, minimum moving of the knee, foot working, feeling your way through everything, feeling that balance as you bring your way forwards. Arms can be just around for balance, holding onto something, or reaching into that full flattened out position. Level as you can, feeling your way through that balance. I'm going to turn around so that I've got a bit of space. Really working to stay central as you can. So lots of work into the feet, lots of work into the outside of the hip to hold that position. Remember, right hip wants to come up towards the ceiling, try and bring it down. Keep those hips level, broad across the shoulders, long in the spine. Strong held balance position. This is really tricky, you're doing great. And take a little break when you're ready. Okay. Weight comes onto the right foot again now. We lift the back foot a little way off the floor, just so we've got that little bit of lift. Level as you can with the hips to start with. Bend this knee. Straighten that back leg out as far as you can. And then think about what we were doing a moment ago where we were turning the hips out. We start to come into this half moon position. Again, use something for balance. You can use a wall. Just find that balance and then turn out and bring it back round. So from the front, remember, this knee doesn't come across. So it looks like this from the front. Hips are as level as they can be. You're as central as you can be. And then from there, we turn the hips out and the knee stays still. So find your way through. And progressively, you could go a bit further. You could start to really lift that leg to hip height, really bring yourself into that full half moon position, wide across the shoulders, wide across the arms, long through the spine, strong through that standing leg, long through the neck. You could even go for the look towards the top hand. I'm not sure if I can do this and talk at the same time. Let's give it a go. Yeah, definitely can't talk at the same time, but feeling your way through, see how it is for you. Take it steady, be careful, and remember, if you're falling and it's safe, then it's all good, it's a bit of fun, but make sure you're being safe. Don't be silly like I was being. Well, I wasn't really, I was safe. Same thing on the other side whenever you're ready. Weight comes onto the left foot, bring yourself towards that warrior 3 position, so the back foot lifts, the hips stay level, front leg working strong, and then push that hip out as far as feels comfortable for you. So remember, you don't have to go full, you could just be here, very gently working towards it, not letting that knee collapse in, not letting that arch of the foot collapse. Give the toes a wiggle. Feel your way into that strong work. And if you want to take it that bit further, nice comfortable shoulder position, nice broad shoulders, long spine. Breathe. Lengthen out. And if you want to, even just thinking about it's making me fall over. If you want to look towards that top hand, you could do. I'm a little unbalanced today. I'm going to try. Let's go. Really try and find that focus to allow you to hold the balance, whatever it is, wherever you are. Just challenging yourself. You don't need to challenge yourself as much as I'm doing. I'm trying to get to the performance posture, the shoga. Whenever you're ready, relax, bring yourself to a standing position, have a little shake out, have a little step out. Really nice. Okay, the grand finale. We're going to do a dancer pose. So the weight's going to come onto the right foot. We're going to lift the left foot off the floor and we're going to see if we can take hold of it. If you can't take hold of it, you might want to put a strap or a belt or something around the foot and hold onto it that way. Makes it a bit more possible. Keep the tuck of the pelvis. So this bit is crucial. Strong grip of the abs. Keep those abs engaged, and then all we're going to do is keep those hips as level as possible and hinge forwards as far as feels safe. Keeping the lower back feeling good. Now when you get there, if you want to, you can start to straighten the leg a little. Make sure that doesn't bring you into a compression in your lower back. Keep those hips as level as you can. Reach the arm up and forwards. Bend that front knee a tiny bit. Give the toes a tiny wiggle. Deep breath. Find that focus. You could look towards the front hand, or you could find something to look at that's not moving. Lifting that knee as high as you can. Remember, left hip is now going to want to lift up towards the ceiling or the sky. So pull that left hip towards the floor to get as level as you can, and then it challenges that balance. As I'm doing that, it's made me lose my balance. So feel your way through. Gradually release when you're ready. Same thing, other side. So, weight comes onto the left foot. Lift your back foot or lift your right foot and see if you could just take hold gently. Remember, use a strap if you can't take hold, if your quads are too tight. Keep your hips nice and level. Hinge forwards from the pelvis. So this is where that rec fem lengthening comes in. from below the knee up to the pelvis. So we're lengthening over the knee and we're lengthening on the front of the hip. Keeping the abdominal muscles engaged so that you don't compress that lower back. That's why you need the length in the rec fem. Hips stay nice and level. Reach that arm forwards, look at it if you want to. Gradually starting to extend the leg if that feels okay. Only taking as far as feels comfortable for you, but really trying to keep those hips level. So make sure you're working on the function as well as the form. So we don't want this elaborate position if we're not able to keep the hips level and work into that standing leg. It's all about getting that foot working, the outer hip. That's where the balance comes from. Remember, if you're just sort of plonking the joints on top of each other, there's an element of balance, but it's not anywhere near the same as really working on that functional stability stuff. Okay, let's go for 2 more breaths. Gradually bring the foot down and step it out. Have a little shake around and bring yourself down onto your back when you're ready. On your back, just bring your knees into your chest. Have a little rock side to side. Have a little rock front to back. Whatever feels nice, make sure it feels comfortable. Don't force anything. So now we're just allowing that lower back to lengthen. We're allowing the front of the hips to shorten now. So just giving them a moment in a shortened position. And then just as we finish off, let's have a little stretch of the hamstring. So gently straighten out your right leg. Take hold of it. You can have a strap around the foot. You can take hold of the calf. You can have one hand on the hamstring, one hand on the calf, and just very gently gliding through the hamstrings and maybe just holding in a very gentle stretch. Give the toes a wiggle, give the ankle a bit of movement. Let's go for 3 more long exhales. One more. And then slowly we're going to change sides. Bring the opposite leg in, take hold of the hamstring, take hold of the calf. You can always use a strap, or you could just hold onto the foot if that feels comfortable. Make sure it's not forced though. I like this one because I can just be really gentle with myself. I can feel the hamstring, I can notice any shake, and then just hold it there. Let's go for 6 long exhales. Communicate with your body by breathing smooth and slow. Gradually unwinding when you're ready. Having a little rest flat on your back, have a shuffle around, get nice and comfortable. If you want to straighten the legs out, straighten them out. If you prefer to have them resting on something, rest them on something. Up to you. So once you're nice and comfortable, just settle in. Notice the breath. Observe your body moving as you breathe. Just experiencing each breath as it happens. Experiencing each moment as it happens. So each breath representing a moment. You might even be able to tune into more moments within each breath. Just noticing, observing without judgment. Allowing that breath happen. with that stillness, that gentle flow of breath. So regardless of how the mind feels and how the thoughts feel, just acknowledging it and accepting it. Just being with your experience. There's nothing to do, no problems to solve, no doing to be done. Just observing your body exist, observing your mind exist. If the mind feels busy, then maybe you might want to really try some counted breathing, so counting deep inhale and a long exhale, training that focus. If the mind feels calm, you may just want to rest with a natural breath. And if you want to stay here and rest for longer, then rest for longer. If you want to finish up, then gradually just starting to have a little move around. Take your time. Give your fingers and toes a bit of movement, your hands and feet. Stretching out if you want to, moving the face if you want to, rubbing the face with the hands if you want to, giving yourself a bit of a massage, giving yourself a bit of a hug. Whatever feels nice, appreciating yourself, appreciating the time you've just taken for yourself. Grateful, compassionate, playful. Taking that to the rest of your day, night, whatever it is, whenever you're doing this. Gradually bringing your way back to a seated position if you want to. Take your time. Any comfortable seated position, and letting the chin come down to the chest when you get there. Tall through the spine, very gradually starting to open the eyes, and very gradually starting to lift the head back up slowly. And we'll finish there. Thanks very much for joining in. Take care, and maybe see you for another one.